Raj, I'm just going to ask you a very specific question. How do we create an environment or a curriculum in school that is ultimately going to produce children who would end up becoming world-class researchers, doing PhDs, publishing papers, maybe winning a Nobel Prize? इसकी जड़ बीज कहाँ बोया जाए?
I think there are a lot of people representing here the private institutes. They would agree that the kind of students we end up getting, they are not up to the mark. They can't understand engineering, they can't understand management. Not that we don't need to produce more engineers and more management graduates, there's no question about it, we need to do that. But the dilemma is, the students we get from schooling system, I'm not talking about the top schools in NCR or Delhi or the metros, I'm talking about the far and wide rural areas. The kind of schooling education we provide to our children into the rural areas is much to be desired. And it's not a question of curriculum there alone, it's a question of teaching just not done. So you are not taught mathematics, you're not taught languages, so when of course you can pass. That's the system that we have more or less. Now you come with 70–80% in your 12th standard and you cannot do the basic mathematics in an engineering college or a management school. Right. So that is one point. So therefore we need to really make sure that our schooling system, you have a very creative course curriculum, very hands-on experiences are being followed, and then of course the faculty has to be trained that way, teachers right. have to be trained.
So you've raised a very fundamental issue that actually, particularly in the government schools, teachers should actually go and teach. And then of course other things about improving curriculum. Yeah, you wanted to say
I just wanted to say one sentence, and I said that at the beginning, that we have to move from rote learning to critical thinking.
All right, that's good point. Yeah, you wanted to say something.
What Professor was saying is reflection of the problem that we actually suffer from. I think when you're actually talking about, say, business schools or engineering schools or whatever, why do we want to say that we are not getting the right students? Whatever students we are getting, the job of the faculty is to train them and train them well. We cannot be subservient to the issue that I'm going to get bad students. If they're bad students, I think all the IITs and IIMs get great students. They are great because of great students, because of nothing else. I think greatness has to be endowed in terms of what we teach to students. My role as faculty is to actually teach bad students and make them disciplined. It is about, like, let me say it in Hindi, गधे को घोड़ा बनाना है जी, घोड़े को तो गधे सब बना रहे हैं यहाँ पे. IIT और IIM और MDI सब बना रहे हैं.
Something fundamental which is today missing.
I have to intervene. See, there is a time factor. You get year and a half or two at the most. And then you cannot really raise that level. If a student can't do basic mathematics, if he can't simply write correct English, how can you make him a great manager? How you can help him understand finance and econometrics? And you simply cannot. So there is a point there. I do agree that we as a teachers, and let me also say, Amit, there are some of the brightest people working in the higher education system. But the fact that they are not getting that incentives and the motivation and the environment, they are not able to give their 110%. So it is not that we don't have the best of the brains, we don't have the best of the honest and dedicated people. It is at time a system. And that's what I said, accountability and autonomy is very,
I mean, the point is well taken. That
Dheeraj, I just wanted to mention, as kids, we used to do, in English we used to do comprehension. Right. Today, when somebody reports to you in the younger generation, you find that basic comprehension missing, and that probably is something which is lacking at the school education level.
Yeah, I agree with you. I find that with young people who come and I interview. I do want to cover one more point. What is the scope for our making these changes in terms of autonomy? Some people have talked about that in terms of institutional capability, in terms of wherewithal. We said that you start in school, and what is the nature of that change going to be? So just on that, to kickstart that, Amit, why don't you?
I'll take up from where Narendra Bhai Modi actually started, where from what he called recent Prime Minister, or whatever what he has actually said. He said something very important. It is not about positions. It's about the contribution that you make. Each one of us here can make a contribution. I think we should not look up to the level of government. Each one of us sitting here, every faculty can actually create unique models of making a contribution. Khan Academy is a great model. There are people sitting in Bihar who are doing it, who are actually educating people. I think this is where we will have to change. We will have to change our actually mindset. If you really look at this whole issue of the contribution aspect, we are running away from the contribution. In fact, when you said the system is not allowing people to do it, system will always be there. System's role is to actually pull down. I think we have to go beyond the system. We have to actually go beyond and make a contribution and change things for ourselves. That is where wealth gets created. That is where value gets created. I think it is always about systematic pressures and going beyond it and creating value. I think the government has a role to play, but they have a limited role to play. Government just provides the environment, and that's the end of, yes, that's the end of the story. Everything else has to be done by us. Why do we always have to go back and say that government has to do everything?
So what does the private institution have to say about that, Sanjay?
Inclusion of skills at the level of school, like in Germany. We have selected 6 subjects at the school level. Why can't there be a 7th subject, choose a skill, part of curriculum? The second would be, we as an educator, the policy maker, I am sorry to say the policy maker, either the thought process is outdated or they are not synced with the time. Now the changes are so dynamic, India being the largest, going to be the largest user of internet. I think Coursera, the largest enrollment is from Indian students. I think we need to think on a curriculum which is seamless, flexible, where cross-discipline education is permissible, credit for specific courses are granted when they qualify at the level of undergraduate or postgraduate. The environment for research is given when the child is at the school level. Let them think, let them discuss, let them experiment. I think we are still in an era where the fixed curriculum is prescribed by the government, maybe because of political reasons. But now I think with the new government has recently started thinking on the process. So skill is one of the prime agenda. I think the separate ministry has also been earmarked for this purpose. I think we need to do a lot of research. What sort of curriculum and what sort of flexibility be given to the student choosing their own curriculum. I think that era has come where the student can decide what to study.
Okay, thank you very much.